Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, this former violent Anglo male teacher murders this innocent couple at an Arkansas state park, and they had their kids with them. Where is the we are tired of seeing white on white criminality? This is why it is so extremely essential to have these type of things put within the timepiece purpose capsule. Today is August the 1st, 2025. See, as long as, again, the conversation is about black on black crime, black on black crime, black on black crime. What are you talking about? Black on black crime, black on black crime. You see how that goes, right? But then when the conversation is about showing white on white crime, white on white crime, white on white crime, that is epidemic more and more. Who is the number one mass shouting people? Numbers of personnel within sections of the Panama-based culture. Who commits more of the white collar crimes? Various personnel within the Panama-based culture. Who commits the most type arsons? More, you get the point, right? But what they'll do is sit there, try to sit there. Oh, and by the way, in that horrendous criminal category of RAPE, R-A-P-E, numbers of males within the Panama-based culture commit the most crimes in that. But what they'll do, society, various parts of society within certain sections of Americanism, they'll try to sit there and get people to focus on talking about that which is also a horrible category of the murterness. And just point, look, see, black people, that murder category, see, go to hell. See, they ain't gonna talk about, again, the white on white criminality that commits the murterness, like in this situation. They will try to minimize that, right? And then when you look at criminal statistics for just that, the murder part, it's not even a gigantic bit of difference. But they keep trying to act like it's some thousands and thousands and thousands of black males committing murder category, while you have many other categories where personnel within various sections of Panama-based culture leads those categories in crime statistics. Do you see how that goes? And it is an insulting also that there are numbers within American Blackism who keep allowing people to keep playing this little dastardly black on black crime, black on black crime, black on black crime rhetoric instead of checkmating this nonsense and saying, wait a minute now, what about white on white crime, white on white crime, white on white crime, white on white crime, brown on brown crime, brown on brown crime, brown on brown crime, yellow upon crime, yellow upon crime, yellow upon crime. You get the point. Native American, what we call wink, wink, Native American crime upon Native American crime. What about that? Immigration crime upon immigration crime, or immigrant crime upon immigrant crime. Right? You see how that goes? The minimizing when various other people commit crimes against one another. So let me go ahead and share my screen on this. One moment here. No, look at this. Now look at this face of evil. Right? But you don't really see nothing, right? He just a wholesome, misunderstand type of young adult male, Anglo male, right? You don't go to Hades with that game. This former teacher, Anglo male, was arrested for Arkansas double murder. He admits to unaliving a Anglo married couple. A 28-year-old Anglo male teacher, former male teacher, has admitted to murdering the married Anglo couple found stuck to unaliving on a walking trail in Arkansas State Park over the weekend in what appears to be a completely random attack. He said they make sure to put that in parentheses, right? Just to kind of, yes, it's on a completely random attack. That's all. Andrew James McGann, 28, of Springdale, Arkansas, was charged with 2 counts of capital murder in an unaliving of 43-year-old Clinton David Brink and his wife, 41-year-old Christian Amanda Brink. These particular enforcement people said the Brinks were fatally attacked while out hiking with their daughters at Devil's Den State Park on July 26, 2025. The horrific assault occurred about half a mile into the park, with the husband attacked first. The children, aged 79, were not harmed in the incident thanks to the actions of their mother. We believe that the mother took them to safety and then returned to help her husband. But here we go. Now, watch this. You got to minimize on this already, right? Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks to the mother. Where the brave husband was fighting for his life against this demonic, evil, right? Inhuman being, right? Fragmented DNA beast. Where's that conversation at? Nope. And that's a whole different conversation that, unfortunately, there are numbers of males who don't get it through their thick skull. Right? That is this feminist driven, very sexual society more and more. They're laughing. What's a whole different topic in itself on that? So the thing about it is the husband was fighting off this demon first. I make this point on the side conversation is that, unfortunately, there are certain numbers where the American black womanism, the one this applies to, who have this silliness and thinking that they can continue to insult American black men. This insults them left and right. Oh, they're traveling on passports. Tell them they're going to other different countries because they can't handle a strong black woman. While at the same time, how many numbers of those strong black women, they travel themselves, right? And how many of them have sex or how many people? But no one tells them, oh my goodness, those passport sisters, look what they're doing. Right? But those are different topics. I make this point because it's like the only thing they're doing is digging their own holes, the one it applies to, and thinking black males are going to continue to be trying to jump in front of people protecting numbers of black women. Well, it's not all black. Go to hell with that tactic. Being quiet is not going to be acceptable. Right? Now, there are those variables where certain numbers of black males will see this black woman and, they kind of pick up and they pick up the aura and stuff like this, and they will help out. But those things are going to dwindle. I make this point. Do you really think some black woman going to be on this trail and this beast saw her? Because there are numbers of black women who go on trails by themselves and this beast jump out, and you think they're going to sit there and be able to protect themselves even though it's one-on-one? Hell no. Right? Anyway, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a topic. Following a day-long manhunt for the suspect, McGann was arrested shortly before 5 p.m. Local time on that Wednesday, et cetera, during an interview with the enforcement, he admitted unaliving the couple. DNA from the blood recovered from the crime scene also matched McGann's DNA. The suspect had sustained cuts on his hands during the struggle with the victims. McGann had recently moved to the area from Oklahoma and had been hired to work at a local school. He was hired to teach in the Dale Public School District this upcoming year, but had not yet begun employment. According to the district superintendent, this individual has not had any time in contact basically with Springdale students of the families we serve. Look at that. Look at that face of evil. Of what on white criminality. But they want to minimize that and talk about black on black crime, right? All right. McGann was a fifth grade teacher in Broken Arrows, Oklahoma, during the 2023-2024 school year. The school district says he passed required background checks. A Broken Arrow public school spokesman said that only means that some numbers of personnel like this, they just have been caught doing criminality things, right? The prior school year, he was employed at an elementary school in Flower Mount, Texas. The Louisville Independent School District confirmed he was placed on administrative leave in the spring of 2023 following concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism, and he ultimately resigned, the school district says. An internal investigation found no evidence of inappropriate behavior with students. Asked about a motive in the double homicide, it said that he remains under investigation, though he did not say it appeared to be complete. And a while that we have reason to believe that there was any known association. We have no reason to believe that there was any known association between our suspects and the victims. This guy said the victims, these Anglo victims, died from stab wounds, and the murder weapon was a knife. Neither were recovered from the resident's home of that beast's home, but isn't clear if any was a murder weapon. This guy said enforcement received 500 tips and credited the public's help with bringing the violent suspect to custody. I make this point because there is this little unexplainableness. How this system has gotten numbers of within American Blackism, the ones it applies to, this little rhetoric of snitches, snitches. Anyway, you got the point, right? When they talk about anyway, certain people get stitches for snitching, right? Snitching, get stitches. You see how the violence, how that sounds. But they don't tell that to numbers of people within various sections of the Panama-based culture, saying, you come into our neighborhoods, Negro animals, we gonna snitch, Negro. But at the same time, they tell numbers within various sections of American Blackism, if you see a crime, and it can be happening to a next door neighbor, it can be happening down the street, you see it. You can see this and see that, but don't you sit there and snitch. You see how that sounds. Cool. Enforcement previously said the suspect was seen leaving the area of the park in a black four-door sedan, possibly a Mazda, with a license plate covered by the tape. Once they identified the suspect, McGann was arrested within an hour at a barbershop. The Brinks had recently moved to Prairie Grove from North Dakota, just minding their business, and would have had no idea that day was going to be their final day, and that their daughters are going to grow up without their mom and dad, right? Because of another white on white criminality, fatality style. And it's good that the children are safe on that, at least with the custody of the relatives. I make this point because it is an insultingness that people keep trying to tell millions of American blacks what y'all gonna do about black on black criminality, but they don't want to talk about white on white criminality that happens over and over and daily and daily. It's an insult. It's like, what do you mean by that? Yes. Yes. Because it's like they minimize white on white criminality that happens every freaking day. But again, they want to sit there and try to get people talking about black on black crime, black on black crime. What an insult. Right? Because they know they know millions with American blackism, with very few exceptions, are not going to get tired of the insulting of that and start checkmating people left and right on that. Right? Because it's like, what are you going to do about white on white criminality that's happening every day, right? Where it should be like this.
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
What's that, Deputy Fife? What should be happening with this white on white epidemic criminality, right? What should we be doing?
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
Yes, yes, yes. Deputy Bonnie Fife of the great Andy Griffin Show, right? That was reality. But actually, I'm gonna play this last video. I didn't get a chance to play this with the on the article that I just shared the screen. But let me go back and let me go back here and play this video. Make sure you can see this. Okay, hello. All right, making sure. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on, sorry.
A teacher who recently moved to Arkansas is under arrest in the inexplicable double murder of 2 hikers killed in front of their children.
We were able to take a monster off the streets and bring relief to Clinton and Kristen's precious girls. And to the rest of citizens of Arkansas.
Now, do you think you hear people showing emotion if this would have been a black man and he did this to a black couple? Do you think Harvard personnel would show emotions? You know the answer to that already. You see how that goes, right? And then he said Arkansas. The racial racism of hatred that has black Americans experienced in Arkansas, Little Rock 9. That one a long time ago, by the way. It's the 21st century. The Little Rock 9. People don't know, look it up. In Arkansas. What they did to those students who just want to go. And these people, these racial racism, hatred people, they did not want the Little Rock 9 black students to go to the same school at the Central High School in Arkansas, in Little Rock. Didn't want them to go. That went a long time ago, right? And then have other racial racism, terrorism that's happened to American blacks in Arkansas, right? Just like the recent topic that also did show on about this violent Anglo man who was a former police chief and he was at some other agencies where he was convicted of murder and also robbing, right? They call him the devil of the Ozarks. But where's the outrage for the saying, my goodness, numbers of certain males within the Panamanian culture are violent. Does that sit there and make numbers of people sit there and look toward numbers of males within certain sections of Panama's culture? Do they make them look double-eyed at them? Of course not. Because it's a sinisternness. It's a sickness. And certain people's mindset that they won't look at certain other males like that in Panama's culture and say, oh my God, hope they don't commit no crimes. But at the same time, they sit there and see somebody, black males, oh, depending where they're at, well, I hope they ain't gonna do anything. It's a sickness.
Arkansas State Police charged 28-year-old James Andrew McGann with murdering Clinton and Kristen Brink while they were hiking with their 2 young daughters at Devil's Den State Park. The girls, ages 7 and 9, were uninjured. Police said McGann did not know the couple he's accused of killing.
We're still exploring and determining exactly what that motive was. So it'd be a little premature for us to speak on that tonight.
He just moved to the area and was hired as a teacher at a local school. The horror happened this past Saturday. Police said they found the couple dead on the hiking trail, spurring a days-long manhunt. Witnesses describing the suspect as a white man with a medium build.
Be on the lookout for a white male suspect wearing black gloves.
The medium build.
Be on the
Suspect as a white man with a medium build.
Yeah.
White man with a medium build. White man with a medium build. The suspect as a white man with a medium build. Suspect as a white man with a medium build.
Be on the lookout for a white male suspect wearing black gloves, sunglasses.
Authorities releasing this police sketch and later this photo of a person of interest with clothes that match the description. They say he was seen driving a black sedan with a license plate covered by electrical or duct tape. Friends remembering the Brinks as kind and genuine.
I'm really struggling to understand why or how this could happen to such sweet people. Why or
Kind and genuine.
I'm really struggling to understand why or how this could happen to such sweet people.
The couple's two.
You see that last part? They just could not understand how can this happen to these sweet couple, this sweet Anglo couple. The ignorance. If that would have been, again, a black male who did that to a black couple, would they say the same thing? You know the answer. But when it's something, should I say, within certain personnel, within certain parts of Panama's culture, I'm saying the ones it applies to, it's something that has been ingrained in a ingrained part within that person's DNA to sit there and cannot compute. White on white criminality, white on white criminality, white on white criminality. It's ingrained in that person's DNA. It cannot compute that. But again, as long as it's talking about black on black crime, well, yeah, I mean, that's nothing new on that, right? I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.
I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.